The Dauntless. The alert went out at 3 p.m. Centris. It went to every man in the EFL, every man on the ship, every human out of cruel space received a countdown. 24 hours. It was just a warning to make sure everyone could see things live. The communication pylons the galaxy over may allow peoples to communicate over the massive distances regardless of distance, but T did nothing to stop the galaxy-scale time zone differences. Regardless, no human fails to be there in time, and it's piped to the entire EFL every member, from pirate vessel to space station watches. The image starts, and it's Admiral Cistern at his desk putting his final signature on a document that Sir Philip takes. I have just legally declared the crew of the Dauntless and the Earth Foreign Legion to be a political state known as the Undaunted. We hold a minor seat in Parliament and our recognized state borders surround cruel space. He explains before standing upright and walking to the front of the desk. This is not, in any capacity, a betrayal of our mission, Admiral Cistern remarks as he walks. He then snaps his gaze to the camera and seems to look into the eyes of each and every viewer. Our mission has always been to blaze a trail into the stars and find what is beyond the boundaries of cruel space. We have accomplished this. The original mission was complete the moment we touched down upon Centris, he explains before taking a deep breath. And yet the tactical, political, and practical situation of things is that the mission has just barely begun. The trail to the stars has been barely cut. We need a destination, a port of call. We need to establish a friendly nation who shall work to see humanity and all her allies thrive. We have already taken a great leap of faith. The men and women of the Dauntless have hurled themselves into the stars without knowing whether doom and damnation awaited them. The recruited crews to the EFL accepted our hand of friendship unknowing if treachery was afoot. We have all profited from these gambles, so now I offer another. Stay with us, past your terms of service, renew contracts and renew faith. For we shall construct a series of bastions surrounding cruel space to serve in this capacity, he announces, and there isn't a single viewer that can look away, be they invited in or spying in. This galaxy is beyond enormous. The sheer scale of the multitude of worlds and peoples means that, while there is enormous room to develop and grow, all of it shall be needed to be anything other than a footnote in the history of the galaxy. The road to a grander tomorrow is long and arduous, an effort of generations. But if we do not build the first station, then who shall? A well-trodden path must first be cut. A goal and destination must be sent for those still within the null. I understand that much is being asked. For the allies we have recruited, it will be a further shift of lifestyle, albeit with enormous chance for profit and earnings. I will be speaking to each ship captain and station master personally with all due haste. To the men upon those postings, I ask you to hold fast until after I have finished speaking with them, Admiral Cistern says with a slight bow to make him all the more gracious seeming. For the men and women serving under me, be you on active duty or not, understand that your tour of duty does have an end date. While I would prefer you to remain posted with us, I will respect the decisions of those who chose to depart for Earth or for foreign worlds. The galaxy is ours to explore, my friends, and even though traveling these incredible distances may seem pedantic and small to those of us whom have traveled as such their whole lives, I invite you to take in the sheer scale of the beauty and just how much of it there is. There is an awesome power and beauty to the universe, and it is ours for the taking, if only we reach out for it. Now, at this point, many of you will have questions, confusion, a desire to understand exactly what form of direction this is going in. Shall I be declaring myself or someone else a dictator or king? The answer is no. Effectively, this will remain a military operation with the rank of Grand Admiral. This rank shall only be sustained by a vote of all captains and admirals, station masters counting as captains. The admirals shall be chosen from among the captains. These changes are enormous to our methodology and the mindset of our presence. Before we were nearly nothing more than message runners, and now we expand our purview to true trailblazers. All agreements shall be honored as they were previously, however, so I once more reiterate that there will be no forcing of anyone to stay as part of the EFL or with the Undaunted when your tour of service has been fulfilled. Our shift of focus to nation building will not be without cost. Our lawyers have drafted a charter of rights and responsibilities for all Undaunted, and beginning the next tour of service shall be required to swear by it. To wit, I shall lead by example. He says before moving to attention and placing a fist over the center of his chest. I, Garfield Cistern, in full command of my mind and body, of my own free will and under no coercion do so swear to uphold the rights and responsibilities of the Undaunted. To this I shall serve to the best of my abilities. My method of serving shall be dictated by my lawfully acquired rank and status among the Undaunted military in all of its branches, be it general service, command, research and development, infrastructure, or the Earth Foreign Legion. For a period possibly greater to but no less than 5 standard galactic years will I serve to the fullness of my capacity and of my own free will, to accept and dispense lawful commands as appropriate and to refuse unlawful commands as appropriate. I will uphold the laws of the Undaunted and keep its secrets and trust to the best of my abilities and insights. Should I prove myself a danger to my fellow soldiers, incapable of fulfilling the roles entrusted to me, or in some other manner unfit for duty, my rank and standing may be suspended or stripped from me entirely for the betterment of the Undaunted and myself. This I have sworn fully aware of the implications and interpretations of this oath and do so without reservation or doubt. I am Undaunted. Oath sworn, he moves to stand at ease. This is the oath I swear to all of you. This is the standard I hold myself, and the standard I shall expect from you. Copies of this oath as well as a copy of the Charter of Rights and Responsibilities shall be sent to every soldier. I invite you all to read them at your leisure and contact the legal department for clarity if there is any confusion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a momentous day, where we merely allowed the current of politics and the galaxy to blow us any which way previously, we now push out to form our own path, and it shall be a glorious one. I have complete faith in each and every one of you that you will do the right thing and make the best judgment possible. Thank you for your time. He finishes and the announcement ends, shortly followed by emails reaching everyone's personal accounts. His own account has emails filling it up, most from his own crew, but one from Lady Tycanped catches his attention. It's an automatic notification from her account welcoming him into the galactic community and promising that his vote will hold appropriate diplomatic weight, meaning none. There are empty assurances that his voice matters, lies that he won't be taken advantage of, and here we are taxation. Unfortunately for her, he's already got the paperwork needed to nullify over 90% of this nonsense. Its filing should be, yes there, the expected email from the Revenue Service. Paperwork gone through perfectly, so the taxes are mostly averted for the next 10 years, as he reads several more come in informing of exactly where his seat in the Parliament will be. Shockingly, it's near the front, and then he considers it for a few more moments and realizes someone wants a something to stare at. Not so shocking after all. There's more paperwork to churn through, work and planning and building and work. There's a knock on his door after several hours. Enter, he says, not looking up from his work as she enters the room. Hello, Nikti. Terribly sorry, but I'm very busy. She's got her arms crossed and an amused look on her face when he looks up from his work. So, it's official. You're no longer the vague representative of a new race, but an actual political faction. Yes, indeed, ma'am, he says lightly. You do realize that there's going to be a silly amount of traffic into your office now, right? You had some relative peace to scheme in private until now. Now, a proper ambassador, they're going to be even more curious this time around. Nikti remarks as she walks around the desk and stands next to him with her hands on her hips. Yep, unfortunately, we couldn't just keep spinning our wheels in perpetuity. Situations change, things need to be done, and there needs to be work done to lay the foundations. Admiral Cistern says, finishing off the last touch of this bundle of paperwork and moves it into the outgoing tray. He then reaches down and picks up the Gobi ambassador. How is it that a man as stern and strong as you ended up so cuddly? Isn't the popular idea of a warrior man some kind of hard as bolts brute with no time for love? It's just an image to show. Affection is as vital as water to anyone. And you, big man? A marriage that turned miserable and died in hatred leaves wounds. Wounds that can only be healed in ways such as this. He answers as she cuddles up into him, delightfully warm and soft and smelling of something exotic but tasty. Big, unstoppable leader of the Undaunted, first of their number, big old cuddlebug. Nikti giggles at the idea. Oh, just let me have my cuddles. Lord knows my ex and sons wouldn't. Admiral Cistern teases. Sir, you've got incoming. The speaker on his desk states, and Ambassador Tal slips out of his hug and under the desk. Then the door is forced open as Lady Tycanped struts in, her tail flared out and her chest feathers puffed out to full size. Ultimately, the little strutting display really shows off how much of a bird and bird brain she is, especially as she doesn't even seem to be noticing the heavily armed soldiers in the room behind her, giving her a pointed glare and clearly considering putting holes in her. Well now, it's official. You're an appropriate ambassador and under my authority. Your authority? Admiral Cistern asks, as Nikti sighs lowly and leans against his leg. Then she reassesses her thoughts on the matter as she's in an exceptional position for some fun. Why yes, my authority as Speaker of the Council. Lady Tycanped preens, her words covering up the slight sound of a zipper being brought down. Ambassador Cistern's poker face is flawless as he slowly brings up a copy of the powers and responsibilities of a Speaker of the Council. I was unaware that we were in the midst of a vote or that a new proclamation was being drafted. Oh, come now, we're both adults in here. The overstuffed bird woman remarks, leaning against the desk with her chest feathers barely concealing her nearly naked breasts. Surely you understand that there's more to me than merely official power and sensible ruling, and a man with the sheer gall to forge a nation for himself with such a small force is either utterly mad or something far greater. I find myself curious as to which. This meeting had gone from odd to outright inexplicable. How had he wandered his way into a porno? Our shift of focus to nation building will not be without cost. Our lawyers have drafted a charter of rights and responsibilities for all Undaunted, and beginning the next tour of service shall be required to swear by it. To wit, I shall lead by example. He says before moving to attention and placing a fist over the center of his chest. I, Garfield Cistern, in full command of my mind and body, of my own free will and under no coercion, do so swear to uphold the rights and responsibilities of the Undaunted. To this, I shall serve to the best of my abilities. My method of serving shall be dictated by my lawfully acquired rank and status among the Undaunted military in all of its branches, be it general service, command, research and development, infrastructure, or the Earth Foreign Legion. For a period possibly greater to, but no less than 5 standard galactic years, will I serve to the fullness of my capacity and of my own free will, to accept and dispense lawful commands as appropriate and to refuse unlawful commands as appropriate. I will uphold the laws of the Undaunted and keep its secrets and trust to the best of my abilities and insights. Should I prove myself a danger to my fellow soldiers, incapable of fulfilling the roles entrusted to me, or in some other manner unfit for duty, my rank and standing may be suspended or stripped from me entirely for the betterment of the Undaunted and myself. This I have sworn fully aware of the implications and interpretations of this oath, and do so without reservation or doubt. I am undaunted. Oath sworn, he moves to stand at ease. This is the oath I swear to all of you. This is the standard I hold myself, and the standard I shall expect from you. Copies of this oath, as well as a copy of the Charter of Rights and Responsibilities, shall be sent to every soldier. I invite you all to read them at your leisure and contact the legal department for clarity if there is any confusion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a momentous day, where we merely allowed the current of politics and the galaxy to blow us any which way previously. We now push out to form our own path, and it shall be a glorious one. I have complete faith in each and every one of you that you will do the right thing and make the best judgment possible. Thank you for your time. He finishes, and the announcement ends, shortly followed by emails reaching everyone's personal accounts. His own account has emails filling it up, most from his own crew, but one from Lady Tycanped catches his attention. It's an automatic notification from her account welcoming him into the Galactic community and promising that his vote will hold appropriate diplomatic weight, meaning none. There are empty assurances that his voice matters, lies that he won't be taken advantage of, and here we are, taxation. Unfortunately for her, he's already got the paperwork needed to nullify over 90% of this nonsense. Its filing should be, yes, there, the expected email from the Revenue Service. Paperwork gone through perfectly, so the taxes are mostly averted for the next 10 years, as he reads several more come in informing of exactly where his seat in the Parliament will be. Shockingly, it's near the front, and then he considers it for a few more moments and realizes someone wants something to stare at. Not so shocking after all. There's more paperwork to churn through, work and planning and building and work. There's a knock on his door after several hours. Enter, he says, not looking up from his work as she enters the room. Hello, Nikti. Terribly sorry, but I'm very busy. She's got her arms crossed and an amused look on her face when he looks up from his work. So, it's official. You're no longer the vague representative of a new race, but an actual political faction. Yes, indeed, ma'am, he says lightly. You do realize that there's going to be a silly amount of traffic into your office now, right? You had some relative peace to scheme in private until now. Now, a proper ambassador, they're going to be even more curious this time around. Nikti remarks as she walks around the desk and stands next to him with her hands on her hips.